What's up guys, James here with How To YouTube, and a few weeks ago I made a video specifically talking about the bare minimum requirements that you need to make any sort of YouTube video. And in that video I mentioned that you need the cheapest tripod possible. You at least need a tripod. But I realized that since I had bought my tripod, there are much cheaper tripods out there, and I linked to one that I hadn't tried at all. So I went out and I bought it for you guys so that we can do a review and figure out if this cheapest tripod on Amazon is actually worth buying. So if that sounds interesting to you, let's get into it. Now, when you're looking for a tripod, you're probably considering a few different things. Things like price, overall build quality, stability, is it actually going to hold your camera up, and adjustability. How easy is it to move the thing around and actually get the shot that you're looking for? So, in this review, we are going to cover all of those things, starting with price. Let's start with price. When I ordered this bad boy right here, it was $5.91 after tax and shipping. I think the original price was just over $5. Now, I have noticed it does fluctuate in price. That was a fairly low day. Today, I think it's something like $6.51 plus tax, and then, I've seen it as high as $7.05. So it definitely fluctuates. Now, before you call me out and say, oh, that's not the cheapest tripod on Amazon, well, there are cheaper tripods out there. They're like $2.50 after shipping, but the problem is those all come from China and they have like 4 to 6 to 8 week shipping times. And I've become accustomed to 2-day or less shipping. So this is the cheapest tripod on Amazon that doesn't have 10 million week shipping. So how is the overall build quality of this tripod? Well, at $5 to $7, you're probably thinking it's going to be trash. Now, I have to say, it's the opposite of that. For the price, the build quality is amazing, and even at any price, the build quality is not bad. Now, in the past, I actually bought what used to be the cheapest tripod on Amazon, and it's this thing here. This feels like it's something you won in a claw machine at, your local supermarket, or maybe you got it as a ticket prize over at Chuck E. Cheese when you were 5 years old. That is how this one feels. This thing is hefty. It is tough. It probably weighs a pound, and everything on it feels nice. It's very tactile. The legs are made out of this really tough rubber material with some sort of a metal insert so that they can bend very consistently and hold their shape well. The ball adjuster here is made out of a very hard plastic. I don't think it'll ever break. The only things that are of slightly cheaper plastic are this tiny little tightening knob here is made out of a cheaper plastic, but I could never see it breaking. And this little red ring around the edge here, which is pretty much useless anyway, it is made of a dramatically cheaper plastic than the rest, and it might break someday, but even if it does, it's not going to affect the tripod use. Now, how about stability? Now, I can't actually film this tripod with another camera on it because, frankly, I don't have another camera. So what I'll do is I'll put a picture up here of my camera on it taken with my phone so that you can see it. But overall, it's very stable. Because of the heavy weight of these legs, it can hold, I have a Canon M50, it's kind of a smaller, lightweight, but, not the smallest camera out there, and it holds it no problem. I could definitely see it holding pretty much any DSLR camera you have, as well as, of course, any phone. So don't worry about stability, and because of the adjustability of these legs, you can get it to pretty much be flat and stable on any surface, even if it's a lumpy surface. So it's a win there. Now, one thing I must say about stability. This camera tripod is advertised on Amazon as being able to wrap itself around things. Now, unfortunately, it does not do that well at all. I'll put a video up here of it wrapping around a table leg, and you can see it doesn't stay on anything. So if your goal was to use this as kind of like a vlogging tripod that you're going to wrap onto telephone poles and rails and things like that, definitely don't plan on buying this tripod. I would definitely get a different one because it does not do that well in the slightest. Now, probably the most important thing that we're going to talk about today is adjustability. Just how versatile is this tripod? Now, I'm not going to compare it to the really expensive, tall, $300 tripods that you can buy out there because it's just not fair. But compared to the tripods in its price range, it is amazing. This is the most versatile tripod you can buy for the money, and I'm going to show you exactly how. Now, when it comes to adjustability, the most important thing on this tripod is this little tiny ball and socket joint at the top. Now, you might be thinking, all right, well, all the cheap tripods out there, they have this, but this one does it better than all of them, and here's how. It is, first of all, very smooth to adjust. It has this little tensioner on the side, so you can loosen it, then adjust your camera to exactly where you want it, very consistently, and then just lock it down by twisting this thing tight. Now, the benefit to that is that other ones of the same price point, like this one here that I have in my hand, they don't have that. So it's very jerky when you try and adjust it because it just has a very high tension all the time. And it makes for a difficult tripod use. Now, the other thing that this ball and socket joint does that the other tripods of the same price point don't have is this little notch right here. Essentially what it allows you to do is fold this tripod forward all the way so that you can mount a phone vertically. Now, the benefit to this is if you plan on shooting any video for things like Instagram, Facebook, or even TikTok, this is the primary format that people film in. It's not sideways, it's vertically. So if you film with a phone, this is a great tripod for you. There is one other thing I wanted to touch on, and that is this little mounting bracket. You'll notice it's a small circle, and this circle can actually even be removed to just allow the tiny little screw to show. Now, the benefit to this is, if you use a camera that has any sort of adapter, it will have this thing here, and you'll notice this giant notch. This hangs just below the camera. And what it ends up doing on most tripods is it creates a barrier so that you can't unscrew the tripod with the lens on because they have rectangular bases. But because this one has a tiny circular one, you can screw this thing right onto the bottom of pretty much any camera anytime without having to take the lens off, which is huge for me because I use an adapter in order to shoot videos. Now let's talk legs. Most tripods in this price point have some sort of adjustable, bendable leg just like this one. Now, these legs, like I said earlier, they don't grip onto things. So if your goal is to grip it onto a pole, that's not going to work for you. But as far as making it higher or lower using these legs, it works fairly well. You can probably get a good 6 inches of vertical distance just by making the legs closer together or flattening them out all the way. Something like that. Basically, it's good for its price point, but not ideal overall if you need a lot of adjustment. If you want to get more vertical adjustment in with this tripod, you basically just have to build using boxes or whatever you have around, or find a larger surface to set this on in order to get it to go taller or shorter. But if you have that option, it's not that bad. Now let's talk about some random extras that this tripod has that other ones might not. First of all, it comes with this tiny little Bluetooth remote. Essentially what this does is you can Bluetooth it to your phone, whether you have iOS or Android, it works with both, and the 2 buttons on here allow you to film and take pictures from a distance. So once you've set up your phone in a tripod, you can connect it to this and click play, and it will allow you to start filming your video without having to actually get up and go click the play button manually. It's really handy if you're shooting kind of face-talking videos like this. I actually use a similar feature with my camera where it connects to my phone, and I have an app that allows me to click play. So, same thing. On top of that, it comes with this cheap little phone holder attachment, which works great. It puts a ton of pressure on your phone. There's no lack in pressure. It is kind of squeaky and annoying, but that's okay. You only have to hear the squeaky and annoying parts when you're not filming, and it allows you to shoot vertically, which is nice. It's a differentiator from most other cheap tripods out there. And it comes with this tiny little handle adjuster, which at first I thought literally did nothing, but apparently it is for GoPros. Now, I don't have a GoPro, but if you do, it will work on this tripod, and this thing apparently is an adjustment handle for it, / adapter. So, no need to fret, you can use your GoPro. So what's the verdict? Is this tripod actually worth spending your hard-earned $5 to $7 on? I would say yes. The pros are that, first of all, it's $5 to $7, and it has outrageously fast shipping compared to all of its competitors that are also $5 to $7. Now, the other things that it does well are, it is very, very stable. It is extremely adjustable compared to the other tripods in its price point, and if you'd like to see a comparison video against some of the other ones like this one, let me know down in the comments. I'll do a direct comparison so that you can know which one is better. Now, the other things that it does well are it has this fancy adjustable ball and socket joint on the top that allows you to film vertically, and I would say that that is one of the best selling points for this. Now, the cons. There are cons. It does not wrap around poles like the advertisement says that it does. It does it terribly. Even this other really cheap one that I have does it dramatically better than this one. Now, the other con is it is short. This is only a 12-inch tripod if it is completely straight up and down, which you could never film with. So at most, you're getting maybe 8 to 10 inches off a table, which isn't even enough to put behind your computer if you were going to do like a live stream. So you're going to have to get creative when it comes to placing this, in various areas, because it's going to need to be set on boxes and things to get to the right height. My cat here is actually a tripod connoisseur, so let's see what he thinks. Pico, do you like this tripod? You heard it here first. Now, on this channel, we do all sorts of things to help up-and-coming YouTubers out, and it's all from the perspective of me, an up-and-coming YouTuber. My main channel has only less than 2,000 subscribers at this point, and so I haven't forgotten all of the tiny little things that go into making YouTube videos that all the big how-to YouTube channels seem to have forgotten. I've noticed that they're very broad when it comes to various things, and I like to dial it in. So if that sounds interesting to you, or you'd like to just be part of a community of really small YouTubers who, can help each other out, or you'd just like to be able to interact with me directly because I only have a few subscribers, so I'm going to reply to every single comment, then you should definitely subscribe and probably click that notification bell next to it so that you can be annoyed every single time I post a video. Also, if you have any suggestions for things that I can make videos about, or just questions in general, leave them down in the comments and I will definitely answer them. Thank you very much, and I will see you soon.